So even though some game companies like Konami acted as a developer and publisher, some companies were just developers or just publishers. With some games on the NES, you would see the publisher's name all over it, but no mention of who the developer was. There was one company in particular who made a few games that you might have played, but a different company took all the credit. And this developer would make an extremely ambitious Famicom title that's worth over $700 today. Who was it, and what games did they make? Well, let's take a look. Well, May is almost here and semester is almost over. Yes, I'm still in school. What's going on, guys? It's Podrez coming at you with another video. So we're going to talk about an underrated developer and an exclusive Japanese game that really pushes the limits of the Famicom. But first, I do have merch now. We have t-shirts, coffee mugs, face masks, and more. I really like the way the shirts came out, so if you want to pick one of these up, just go to shop.podrez.net. Secondly, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button right there. It only takes a quick second, but it helps the channel grow. Anyway, we're just going to get right into it. So there's developers and there's publishers. Every game has both a developer and a publisher. Developers are the ones who actually create the game, and the publishers handle the distribution of the game. Both of these play important roles in the success of a game. Developers are responsible for the game being good, and publishers are experts at marketing a game in a specific region. Without both, you're not going to have a game. In a lot of cases, the developer of the game also happens to be the publisher. Most Konami games fall into this category. When you're both the developer and the publisher, you have full control over your game. Usually this means your company is going to be plastered all over the box and title screen. If you look at any Konami game, you're going to find their logo front and center. But not every game is like this. Sometimes the developer and publisher are two different companies. In a lot of these situations, the publisher takes all the credit for the game while the developer lurks in the shadows. A good example is the US release of Pac-Man. This game was developed by Namco, but you wouldn't know that by looking at the promotional ads because the publisher, Midway, was taking most of the credit for the game. With that said, we're going to be talking about a developer who isn't very well known, but you may be familiar with some of their games. Their name is Kid, or Kindle Imagine Develop. Kid was a developer, but not a publisher. Kid had a partnership with the publisher Taxan, so if you look at most of their NES games, you're not going to see any mention of Kid, just Taxan, and that's kind of unfortunate. With that said, we'll take a look at a couple of Kid's games and finally give them the spotlight they deserve. First, we'll play G.I. Joe. It's a basic run and gun game. You can pick between different characters which have different guns and abilities. For example, Snake Eyes can jump higher than the others, Blizzard is the most durable character, and Duke is the most well-rounded character. The controls are great. You can aim in multiple directions, although not diagonally, and each of the characters' weapons are different. It actually reminds me of Contra, which is a big compliment. But the difference is some of the levels are non-linear, where you have to collect a certain amount of items before you can progress. The graphics are fantastic here, with really nice color and detail throughout the stages. Remember how Konami had to remove the animated backgrounds in the American version of Contra? Not in this game. We get a really nice animated background in stage 1, and it looks really good. Some stages have really nice parallax scrolling, which is uncommon for the NES. Overall, it's clear that Kid put a lot of care into this game, and they put the G.I. Joe license to great use. Now let's look at Isolated Warrior. It's a shooter with an isometric 3D perspective. You can pick up weapon upgrades along the way, and you actually have a life bar, which is unusual for a shooter. But the main thing that separates this from other shooters, you can jump. It's a great way to avoid enemies, but it's also required for platforming because there's bottomless pits. It's actually an interesting idea to combine a shooter with a platformer. The graphics are very well done, and the game does a great job with the 3D perspective. The game is also very forgiving. Like I mentioned before, there's a life bar, and there's plenty of health refills that the enemies drop when you destroy them. Now let's talk about what happens when you die in this game. Now, in most shooters, it's extremely difficult to continue because you lose all your power-ups, but here, it doesn't take long at all to recollect your power-ups that you lost. Overall, this is a very solid title, and Kid came up with something very unique here. In the early 90s, a video game competition was started in Japan called Summer Carnival. It was hosted by a company called Naxat, which was a publisher that was owned by Taxan. In fact, if you can't tell, Naxat is just Taxan spelled backwards. In its first year, the official game used for the competition was Spriggan for the PC Engine CD-ROM. It has very colorful graphics, very cool weapon upgrades, and an insanely good soundtrack. This game was actually developed specifically for this contest. The very next year, the competition was held again, but this time there were two games, Recca on the Famicom and El Sadiq for the PC Engine CD-ROM. Both of these are very colorful shooters, and El Sadiq specifically reminds me of Star Soldier, where you can collect weapons that are hidden throughout the walls in the background. I find this game to be the easiest one of the entire Summer Carnival series, because you can take multiple hits before you die. Like with Spriggan, both Recca and El Sadiq were developed specifically for this competition. In the Summer Carnival's third year, it had one game for the competition, Naxat. Unlike the other games, this one previously existed as a standalone title on the PC Engine CD-ROM, but they made some changes to the Summer Carnival version. The title screen was changed, and all of the cutscenes from the original version were removed. Unfortunately, this would be the last year the contest would happen. Despite that though, we got some very decent shooters as a result. But there's one game that became very well known, Recca. This is the one game everyone talks about. It happens to be the only Famicom title that was featured in the entire Summer Carnival series too. So what's so special about this game? Let's take a look. So a little backstory, we know that Naxat was owned by Taxan, and since Kid was a developer for Taxan, Naxat gave Kid the opportunity to develop a game for the Summer Carnival competition. As we know, Kid made some excellent games, including a very nice shooter. So if anyone can do it, it's certainly them. What we got as a result is a very impressive Famicom title. It's a shooter where you can collect weapon upgrades and a sub-weapon. The sub-weapons are these red satellites around your ship that give you extra firepower. You have this bomb attack that's very effective against bosses, and it helps you stay alive. From a technical standpoint, this is a very impressive game. Look at how many sprites are on the screen at once. Look at the fluent movement of the boss and the really nice background on this stage. This is a very nice looking game. It does flicker a lot, but it's amazing they fit in so much content without any slowdowns. Look at this mini-boss right here. I can't believe how large it is considering the limitations of the Famicom. The music also has to be mentioned. Kid went with techno-style music because it fit the atmosphere very well. Take a listen. The boss battle music is also fantastic, and it really captures the high stakes and pressure of the situation. I get goosebumps just listening to this. But what I really like about the music is some of the longer stages are complemented with long tracks. In stage 2, we get some really nice music in the second half. The music is so good, it actually got its own record release years later. But there's one thing that cannot be overstated. You might be able to tell already, but this is one of the hardest games I've ever played. There's no continues, you die in one hit, there's no shield upgrades, it's easy to grab the wrong weapon by mistake, and it's hard to tell what's going on with all the enemies on screen and the flickering. This might actually be the hardest game I've played, but telling you it's hard is not enough. I could show you footage of me dying a lot or a swarm of enemies on the screen, but instead I'm gonna try something different, something I've never done before. I'm gonna play this live. Not post-commentary, this will be the real thing. Let's get started. So my goal here is to try to beat stage 3. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it, I've never done it, so we're gonna try. Yeah, look at this. Like, a new player would not know what to do. Okay, yep, dying on the first part. Yeah, I'm gonna reset. Alright, now for take 2. Alright, I'm gonna try to do this boss while getting the L weapon. I don't know if I can do it, but let's see. Let's hope for the best. Oh yeah, there we go. I think I got it. Oh no, I didn't. I still have F. To get... Oh, see, I got F. I don't want F. Honestly, oh no. We're on stage 2 too, so I don't know if I should even bother at this point. We're gonna try to recover, but yeah, look, I've already taken 3 deaths. When you lose your weapons, you're absolutely screwed. Like, dude, I'm getting destroyed now. Alright, well, that's one run down the drain. For the red weapon, I need S. That's... Nope. I'm not even gonna try. I'm gonna reset. Yeah. I mean, you know a game is hard when it's flickering so much and it can't even handle what's on the screen. Anyway, we're resetting here. Dude, I can't even get past stage 1. This is annoying. What's nice about the laser fully powered up is that it's a homing attack, so it pretty much just gets all the enemies. See, the thing I don't like about this stage is that you get bad weapon drops. Like, they constantly get in the way, and if you collect the wrong weapon, you're going to be severely underpowered. That is the most frustrating thing about this game. Sometimes you got such a great run going, and then you collect the wrong weapon by mistake, and then it just goes down the drain. Alright. Oh no! This is not the boss you want to die on. Yeah, there's no way I can overcome this now. Yeah, no, dude. Alright, I did it. I mean, just look at all the sprite flickering and all the stuff on the screen. It's just so hard to come up with a strategy because there's just so much stuff on the screen. Uh-oh, this ain't good. Try to make one of these disappear. I can't believe I survived that. That was incredibly lucky. Alright, this is my last life. There is just no way. I've got no shot here. I have no weapons at all. Yeah. I can't say I didn't expect that to happen. I mean, come on. Alright, we're trying again. I mean, even though this game is hard as nails, I really do gotta admire, I mean, the graphics are great, the music is fantastic. It's just not super user-friendly, you know what I mean? I mean, just look at all these enemies just coming right after you. They don't give you a break at all, dude. So, I mean, stage 1 is rough because they throw you right in the wolves. I've had to reset like 5 times. Oh, I did not mean to get V. I mean, God, look at how many weapons are on the screen. I'm trying to avoid them because I might grab the wrong weapon. I don't want that. Yeah, I gotta keep grabbing weapons I already have just so that I can get them off the screen and not get the wrong one by mistake. Alright, I think we're near the boss. Okay. Oh! You've gotta be kidding me, dude. Honestly, this isn't a game. Really isn't a shooter. It's a survival game. Let's be honest here. Some of the bigger enemies are super overpowered. Like this dude that throws the rockets. Like, what are you supposed to do? But, I mean, maybe we can do this. Ooh, the snake almost got me too. Just to think that that's like not a stage boss and it's just a regular enemy in the game? You've gotta be kidding me. We just need one more L. No, dude, it was right there. I could have been fully powered. You've got to be kidding me, dude. I mean, oh, no, yeah, this run is dead. This run is absolutely dead. Dude, there was no reaction time right there. So far, we haven't even made it to stage 3 yet. So... No! Reset. So the thing that sucks about the bomb is that you have to charge it. And how do you charge it? You don't shoot. How do you not shoot in a game like this? God, I keep grabbing random weapons. Not what I want, dude. I need L. Okay, dead. You know what that means. God, I'm just not getting the... Yep. Reset. Dude, I can't even get a run off stage 1. So if you couldn't tell, I do think this is by far the hardest game of the whole contest. I really love the graphics and the background. I don't know how they pulled this off. I don't know what chip they're using in this game. Maybe MMC3? I don't know. Gotta avoid the weapons. God, it's almost like the weapons are the enemies. They're almost worse than the enemies because you can't shoot them. Alright, I think I can do this without dying now. Finally. Finally I can do this. Yup, nice. Finally. I told you I could do it. Alright, we got a good run going. I am not letting go of the fire button. That is for sure. That's why I like this homing weapon so much. Dude, did you see that enemy just like show up on the screen like that? That was like super quick. I was like ninja, dude. Like imagine if like Gradius or some game that was released in the US were like this. Alright, there's gonna be a little giant snake coming. A little giant snake. That didn't make any sense. Alright, we got another boss. It's the same one, but he's a little bit better. He follows the screen a little bit better. Follows your character, I mean. Stupid. How did I die? Dude, how did I die? Dude, I'm in a bad spot now. Oh, dude, my run down the drain. I think I'll make it to the boss just because I have a lot of lives. This boss is a lot more calm, you know, there's not much stuff going on here. Just these little pixie sticks or whatever they are. Nice, that was a very good completion. But guess what? We have no weapons, so I think we're probably done. Alright, I need a... dead. Yup, and there's probably the run. We're making it pretty far. Stage 3. We're not at the boss yet. I've made it to the boss. The boss is seriously impossible. I don't even understand. Dude, what am I supposed to do right there? I don't know. I tried my best here. Well, there you go. My live reaction. Hopefully that shows you how hard this game really is. So if you're a casual player, you might be turned off by this game because of the extreme difficulty, but I need to make a distinction. Hard does not mean bad. In fact, I enjoy this game. It has fantastic music, colorful graphics, impressive technological achievements, and very fun gameplay. It's no wonder this became the most popular game of the entire Summer Carnival competition. Despite Recca being a fun title, its release wouldn't go very well. The game did make an appearance in retail stores, but because the Super Famicom was already out, Recca, which was only playable on outdated hardware, didn't sell a lot of copies. On top of that, it wasn't released outside of Japan, which is very unlike most games developed by Kid. Had this game received a worldwide release, I'm not sure what the public response would have been. This is not at all a user-friendly game, and casual players might have been turned off by this one. But if you're up to the challenge and want to own a legitimate copy of this game, well, good luck with that. This game usually goes over $700 because it's one of the rarest Famicom titles, but it's not all bad news. To my surprise, in 2013, Recca was released on the 3DS Virtual Console in the US, so for the first time, this game received a release outside of Japan. Except it is bad news because Nintendo shut down the 3DS shop last month, so now you can't purchase the game at all. Man, we just can't catch a break here. So outside of paying $700, your options are either emulation or a reproduction cartridge. Either way, you're in for a great experience. You just might not make it very far. It seems like developers don't get enough appreciation for the great work they do. In the case of Kid, they made some great NES games, but you would never know from looking at the title screen. G.I. Joe is a run-and-gun shooter with great graphics and gameplay, and Isolated Warrior is a very unique shooter that also has some platforming. For the Summer Carnival competition, Kid's game became the most popular of all of them. There's a reason for that. The gameplay is fun, the Famicom hardware is pushed to its limits, the graphics are colorful, and the music is fantastic. I thought it would be cool to finally give Kid the spotlight they deserve. Hey, I just wanted to thank you so much for watching this video. If you made it this far, hit that like button. If you enjoy this type of content, hit the subscribe button for more content. Both of these things really help the channel grow. If you have anything to share, feel free to leave a comment. I read every single comment on this channel, and I'm pretty good at replying back. Anyway, have a good one.